That's cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, with that said, it's time. Let's jump back into it. Load game. And I always have to remember which one was the latest one. I think it's this one. Yes. So we are about to start the trial. We're just trying to find the last little bits of truth bullets, as they call them, before we get started in this trial. So we got Hifumi, dead. Taka, dead. However, the bodies weren't always in here. We found in one of the other rooms, I think they call it the warehouse or storage room or something, it's like behind the art gallery, I believe. Or maybe that's where we are now. But somewhere there was like a dolly and it moved over here. You can see the dolly, and we found that it had blood marks on one of the wheels. So somebody used the dolly to move some of these corpses. So it's hard to tell what's going on. And there was a mallet used to kill these people, and some of the mallets up here are missing. So it looked like they were taken off and then decorated to look like, you know, some kind of superhero weapon or something. What were they called? Justice 1, 2, 3, and 4? And they kept getting bigger as the number increased, right? It's a secret for now, Alex. Yes, I can't wait to hear the report. And Krim, why would I murder Taka? I understand Hifumi. Hifumi's just awkward, very socially awkward. I haven't seen a reason to murder him yet, but I did not. Okay, so I'm not sure what they want me to do now. I think we just need to talk to people, because I've looked at, before we quit last time, I looked at the corpses. We're kind of helping Kyoko here with her side of the investigation. So doesn't Kyoko get creeped out poking at dead bodies and stuff? No, Kyoko's into it. That's her thing. Hey, we don't kink shame. There are many aspects to this incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened. Oh, wait, that's right. We did this last time. She'll go over everything if you want. I'm going to say no, because it's a long thing. We went over it last stream. I've forgotten it all now, but in the interest of the stream, we're going to keep pushing forward. So, let's see here. Do we need to look at the ballots a second time? I feel like we need to look at things multiple times, because Kyoko's with us now. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Could the Justice hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and a chalky stone powder. But, for some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's also wet. I don't know what that means, except maybe that they wiped blood off of it, or maybe they started to paint it and changed their mind and washed it all off. Yeah, did someone wash it recently? Oh, did I miss that, Alex? So secret is about the message a bit above you happen to miss. Oh, I see. You compensated for the race? Is that what you were talking about? Probably cleaned a murder weapon. That's true. Although, what's confusing is there's other multiple murder weapons around Krim, you know? And some of them have blood, but maybe not all of them. So, who knows? But that could be it. Let's see, it's below that. Because I remember you talked about the Stanley parable. You'll see, or your guess we'll see if you replay it again. Oh, I see. You're thinking of going hard on YouTube, and so if it goes well, you'll do the highlights. Oh, that's what you were talking about. I missed that, Alex. Yes, you should, honestly. Anybody that's trying to grow on Twitch should definitely spend time in other social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, any of those. It's a good idea to try to be consistent on that, if you have time. I do not. I wish I did, but it's a great idea to do that. Okay, let me double check the corpses again. The biggest problem I have right now is how the killer was able to move Hifumi's massive corpse. From the nurse's office where he was discovered, here to the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing. I just can't see how that's possible. Further, it seems that Hifumi died from a blow to the head. He was most likely killed using Justice Hammer 3, which we found in the nurse's office, but maybe not. You know, now we see that washed mallet. Maybe they were doing a switcheroo with those too. Oh, I guess that's the bright side, right, Krim? Silver lining to a very, very sad situation. But When we found his body in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. That's right. When we saw it later, his glasses were cleaned. But now they're spotless. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses clean? But who would do that, and why? We did find a truth bullet for that. We found some rag in a trash that had blood on it. They were glasses cleaning rags, so it kind of makes sense. That's a great idea, Alex. I know, it's just, what do you want to spend time doing, right? If you got the extra time and you can make yourself not lazy, that's a brilliant idea to help growth. Taka was killed by a blow to the head. He must have been struck with Justice Hammer 4, which was lying on the floor in the equipment room. And there's a tarp laid out under his body. The killer must have used it to move Taka's body. That way, it wouldn't leave any bloodstains as it was moved. I don't think there's anything else to look at here, really. Does it let me leave? Okay, we need to talk to Kyoko first. And, Darwayne the Goat? How you doing, Darwayne? Welcome to the stream. And TikTok is hard to do in Russia right now, and the same with Instagram. But you'll go hard on YouTube while you can, just for fun and the audience, in case someone misses the streams. That's a great idea, you know. And I don't put obviously a ton of work into the VODs that I put on YouTube. I don't have time to like edit 4-hour video, so I basically just cut off the beginning, cut off the end, and upload all the gameplay in one big thing. And some of my streams, I think the most popular one right now on YouTube was actually Disco Elysium. And it's got like 200 something hours watched and like 700 views, which kind of blows my mind. It's like, that's really awesome. And Sheila, you really hope that you find an alcoholic drink that you enjoy? Oh, you will. You absolutely will. But that's another big thing, Sheila, is your taste will change. When I first started drinking, beer was foul. And now beer's like my favorite. So everything changes over time. And Krem, if you were dead and your glasses got that dirty, you'd rise back to life just to rinse them. Hey, maybe that's what actually happened. Okay, let's check with Kyoko. So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
That's right.
Ifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden? Like maybe a message? Oh, thank you for the lurk, dude. Have a good one, Alex. He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see. In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know, I think his pants are worse than his socks, personally. I don't know what that means.
Hey.
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. That was a weird one. Oh, that's a tough one, Darwayne. I'm scared to announce any favorites because they always get killed. Every time I say this character is my favorite, they're dead. So I'm going to go with, of the currently alive characters, it's probably a combination of Sakura and Kyoko. I think those are my two favorites. I hope they don't die right now. Yeah, Kyoko says no to foot fetish. See, and that's the thing though, Sheely. Honestly, is those flavored beers, they just taste like beer with a little bit of flavoring, usually. You still have to like beer to enjoy a flavored beer. Weebotome, I loved it. It's got a really weird art style, Weebotome. I know what you're talking about, but it was fantastic. I highly recommend Disco Elysium. It's kind of like, oh, don't spoil anything, Darwayne. Yeah, it's very much like a novel, like you're reading a choose your own adventure thing. Yeah, no story spoilers, Darwayne. Okay, so let's check out that note. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like, it better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. The dude's dead. What do you mean forgive him? A note. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
So...
That's right. I remember somebody mentioned he was going to go look for a hole. Somebody had gave him a note about that, right? That sounds familiar. That's it. It's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
However...
Although, it's not exactly the same, is it? I love this voice. Sheely, hypothetically, if you actually drank it, right? Hypothetically. Last night, Someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. The time is different. Hiro told us his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked to meet at 6 a.m.
Is that right?
Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Oh, that's true. I also wonder if you're actually going to kill people with this kind of trick, maybe you would stagger the time so you can deal with one body before you have to create another one, right? Huh?
So...
Part of it had been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped? Could you explain that a little more? Think carefully.
Hey.
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
So then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Something more important becoming a scrap of paper.
Hey.
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. That's right, that's what happened in the last case. It's all about those handbooks. Getting in and out of doors. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So, you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you don't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. She's like a tutorial, giving us hints. All I said was they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. Hey, that was the last thing we had to do. I just had to talk to Kyoko again. There we go. You know, actually, one of my favorite... Oh, he's going to talk.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin!
Oh my gosh, I'm not ready. I'm so not ready. I want to talk to Sakura one more time to maybe go over all those things. And Chile. I think one of my favorite, like, flavored beers, you know, that has a very specific flavor, was actually a peanut butter stout. And I think the brand was called Belching Beaver. It's so good. It's so good. It comes in a huge bottle, but it's really tasty. It clearly was Monokuma after all. Oh, I know I'm always a suspect, Krem, but honestly, the thing that kind of seems the most sketch to me is both Byakuya and I just want to say Genocide Jill. I forget her name. But those two are kind of, I think, the most suspicious. They had some weird story of them working together. Where they were at the time, I'm not sure. I feel like they are working together. There might be an accomplice on this one.
Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school.
Maybe he shouldn't be so shady, Weebatome. I mean, I just call it like I see it.
See you soon.
He's also often a jerk. He can be really smart and really helpful, but he's just a jerk.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Easier said than done. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. Dang, I wanted to talk to Sakura one more time. I wonder if we can in here. We should save it right before. Because one time, remember, we did the entire trial, and I screwed up the minigame at the end, the rhythm thing, and I pressed the wrong button, I chose the wrong option, and we did not restart it. I quit the game, essentially. Oh, that was embarrassing. That was so bad. Save there. Always blame the person with multiple personalities. Well, no, actually, I don't think that... My guess would be that Byakuya is actually behind it. And maybe What is her name? Genocide Jill was just helping him because she's totally infatuated with him. She'll do anything. Because if she killed him, there'd be like, what do you call it? Scissors in everybody, right? Oh, we already saved it. We're good. Yeah, we just speed ran that. There was no reloads. What are you talking about? The mini game's really confusing. At first, I didn't get it either. I did it twice, I think. And that's why I was kind of in a rush and I chose the wrong option. It wasn't clicking, even after going through the tutorial. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Why are there two of them? He's multiplied.
Wrong!
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one of us is the real Monokuma? Well, if you're moving so fast, then technically there's only one. They're both the real Monokuma.
Whew.
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay. Hey! Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train, elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Or Monokuma, he just wants to have fun. We're just like, we're sick of your crap. Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
That's right, everything points to him because we have pictures of somebody in a robot suit doing it, and then we found him stuck in a robot suit in like a closet or something. I forget where it was, like near the pool. But that also makes me think that it wasn't him because he had like no recollection of anything. Like it really seemed like he was just trapped down there on purpose. Like somebody, set him up and put him in that suit and he was trapped until we could catch him in the suit. However, maybe he was in the suit and was running away and that's all a story. Who knows? I told you already. I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? Well, no, but... That's right, Krim. There's not many people left. How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
This is going to be a tough case. She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone else who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. We already know John did it. It's always me. It's always me. Then who killed Hifumi and Taka? The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. That better not be Sakura. I seriously doubt it. Let's just start talking to people. Were you listening? Wait till we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing. I don't know if I can even get any more information out of them now.
Damn.
I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes, man. She is dead set on Hiro. And I understand, but I think it's kind of strange, a little too convenient. It's clearly the justice robot. Why don't we just blame him, right? And this will be some good info, Darwayne. Nice. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. The trial will be over in no time. It wasn't me. You gotta believe me.
Yes, yes.
Come on, Big Mac. Let's do it. That's my name, Big Mac. And Alex, I mean, you are playing the game in which they die. So technically it is you, and if you haven't been playing, they'd all be like, ah, and now you're getting very philosophical, Alex. I see what you're talking about. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard... Dun, dun, dun. I love this courtroom setup, how they're all in a big circle. There's going to be a lot of, like, sticks of people, though. Like, not actual people, because they're dead. The doors closed on their own. And the steel box began to move. Speaking of Big Macs, what's your guys' favorite fast food? Like, if you had to pick any fast food restaurant you can go to, where would you go? We don't have fast food all that often. Honestly, we probably go to In-N-Out the most. And that's not one of my favorites, but Andy loves their, what do you call them? Animal-style fries. She loves that. Burger King fries are your favorite, Darwin? Nice. Yeah, Andy loves those animal fries, so we go there quite a bit, just for fries. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. Actually, as a kid, when I had fast food a lot more often, McDonald's is always my favorite. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. If I have to have a fast food burger, I think Five Guys is my favorite. They're expensive, though. It's expensive. And your least favorite is Subway? Your first ever experience there was terrible. Oh, no. Like, for me, Subway has always been kind of like, meh. It's not, like, the worst thing in the world, but it's never been, like, great. Actually, I like to go to the sandwich place called Jersey Mike's. I like it a lot better than Subway. Yeah, longest elevator ride confirmed. McDonald's is your favorite, Krem? Nice. What do you usually get from there? The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. Well, I see you all gathered together like this. I realize how few of you are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only 'cause of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it.
Chili cheese nuggets. I didn't even know that was a thing at McDonald's. Nice. It is beautiful in here. No, you're breathtaking, young daddy. How you doing, dude? And Subway, you need to twist their arm to get 5 more olives on your sandwich. Oh, that sucks, friendly. Yeah, I know a lot of these places can be very stingy. Well, anytime you get they make it as you go through the line, oftentimes you have to keep asking for more. Give me more.
I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed trial or class trial after this commercial break.
Yahoo!
I'd never hold that on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. He says the same thing every time. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate. A deadly class trial. Do you want to save? Yes, I will save again. Are you kidding me? Of course I will. Oh, you just finished running with your dog? That's awesome. What kind of dog do you have, young? I could not do that with my dogs. They're too small. Like, they just couldn't keep up. They could do it for a little while, but when they got those short little legs, it's not good for them to run a whole bunch with you or try to keep up. Okay, so let's open up our handbook and kind of look at our truth bullets, just to kind of remember what clues we have. Ooh, what idea do you have for the trial, Alex? A deadly mosquito. Okay, so Monokuma's file 3. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimuro. So Taka and Hifumi. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It was thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. And we found a blue tarp. The tarp was found in the repository under Kiyotaka's lifeless body. It was apparently used to move Kiyotaka in order to avoid leaving any bloodstains. I like that apparently. We don't know for sure. The repository dolly. The dolly was found when the body was rediscovered in the repository. The specific dolly has no handles, and the blood was found on one of the wheels. It is assumed that this is the same dolly that was in the equipment room, where Kiyotaka's body was originally discovered. Let's see, it will start, and there will be a lot of dialogue, right? Alex, you're brilliant! Hifumi's glasses, they got cleaned. When they were first found in the nurse's office, Hifumi's glasses were covered in blood. However, when they were next seen in the repository, they were completely clean. That's weird. Uh-oh. What happened? I lost my track. I think I pressed... Oh, if you press left or right on accident, it jumps down like an entire page. Okay, then there's a spotless hammer. Hammers of all shapes and sizes were found in the repository. One of them was found wet and had apparently been recently washed. And then the repository door. This door connecting the art room to the repository was designed to open only from the repository side, so it's a one-way lock. According to Aoi, I think it's Hina, it was locked during the search for the missing body. However, when the body was rediscovered, it had somehow been unlocked. I never get a break from reading Weebutome. Not in this game. Oh, wait, no, actually that's true. When in the trials, they do a lot of talking themselves, right? That helps. Okay, the equipment room Bloodstained. A puddle of blood was found in the equipment room where the Kiyotaka's body was initially found. A tire track had been left behind in the blood, which makes you think they used the dolly. However, that makes me think they moved Hifumi's body because Taka's body was wrapped in a tarp, right? And young daddy, you got a German Shepherd, and she often pulls me along. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, when you got a big dog, honestly, you can often like ride a bike, rollerblade, something else, just to have the dog keep up with you, you know? But especially Gus, our Scotty, his legs are like this long. He has a hard time running for a long distance. He's really fast, but he's not like a long distance runner. The cloth was found in the trash can in the nurse's office. It was branded with a popular cartoon character and was found with blood on it. One has to wonder if someone used it to wipe some blood away. Maybe from some glasses? And Celeste's account. That's right, she was the first one we found who was like in trouble, right? Hifumi's body disappeared when Celeste and Aoi left the nurse's office to use the bathroom. Apparently they weren't gone for more than a minute or two. Hifumi's body disappeared. In just 2 minutes? Who can move him that fast? He would need a dolly. He's a big boy. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note. This is the note that Yashahiro wrote to get everyone to meet in the dining hall. Meet in the dining hall is all it says. The handwriting is remarkably neat and clear. So that's another thing. Notice how clean that handwriting is. That's true. Oh, I can't be Sakura. No, she's awesome. And I don't see her being super motivated by money, so I'm not sure. The Robo-Justice Blueprints. Notice the handwriting on this is garbage. That's actually better than my handwriting. These are the blueprints for Robo-Justice, which were found in Yasuhiro's room. And the Robo-Justice costume. No one but Hiro could have possibly fit into the costume. In addition, anyone wearing it would not have been able to see their feet or bend at the waist more than 90 degrees. And then here's Hiro's account. Apparently, Hiro received a mysterious note last night. The note reads, I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. And a broken wristwatch. I actually forgot about this. Taka's wristwatch broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock. It was confirmed that as of late last night, the watch still worked, which means it must have been broken the following morning when he was attacked. See, now that kind of makes sense. Why there was 2 notes with 2 different times on them. One said meet me at 1 a.m., one said meet me at 6 a.m. So maybe Taka was the one killed at 6 a.m., right? Oh, that's the other scrap of paper that was written from the other thing, right? Oh, goodness, Alex. Perfect timing. I love it. Bam. Let me just make sure this is working. Am I auto-tuned? Yes, I am. Okay, great. Perfect for a lot of reading, right? Let's see. I don't think we know that Hifumi wrote that, Darwin. And if you say 6 at night, would that be 6 p.m.? Yes, I would. If I'm not doing military time, yeah, 6 at night would be 6 p.m. 6 in the morning would be 6 a.m., right? So, yeah, Taka's lifeless hand was found clutching a small scrap of paper. And that looks like the matching scrap from right here, right? And young, a lot of this evidence the killer should have found and destroyed before we could get to it. Then we'd have no chance, right, young daddy? Hifumi had this note hidden on him. One edge of it appears to be torn. The note reads, I found a hole. Maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m. And where was the scrap of paper? In Taka's hand. Yeah, maybe Hifumi actually tried to rip the note off. Maybe we got two killers. Because if Hifumi has this note that's been ripped, right? And Taka has the other part of it, so they met at some time. What if Hifumi actually murdered Taka and then somebody else killed Hifumi? Then I guess we would only have one killer still alive, right? Even though we have two deaths, they didn't murder both of them. We just need to find the person that killed Hifumi, possibly. The e-handbook. Each student had their own e-handbook, which also acts as a card key. Well, don't tell me for sure, Darwin, because that's technically a spoiler. So you want to make sure you don't let me know if I'm incorrect or correct. It's more fun if I just figure it out on my own. Possibly to massive failure. The owner's name is displayed each time the handbook is booted up. It is believed that no handbooks were involved in carrying out the murders this time, but gotta keep it in mind. It was the mosquito. Yeah. Alright, Darwin, so you gotta be sure you don't say anything more about what's coming up in the case, or I'm gonna have to mute you. Okay, oh, there's one other thing we have to do before we start. We want to set our skills. So I don't have a ton of skills. Oh, it already has my previous ones, but I have more points. Oh, I forgot that you kind of level up and get more points. So I got 5 points to add. This increases the damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. I need that. That's a really good one. Tajay has hammer, likes to use. How's it going, Tajay? Good to see you, dude. I would be heartbroken if it was Sakura. I would be totally heartbroken. How much does this one cost? That costs 4. Allows you to reload 2 bullets at once. Effective. Ooh, which one's going to be better? More damage or reloading 2 bullets? You know, that's going to confuse me, I think, more than anything when it says reload bullets. I think the way that works is you alternate between A and Y. So like you shoot, reload, shoot, reload. So in this case, I could like shoot, 1 reload, shoot, 1 reload. I think that's what that means. I don't even think I want to mess with that because I have a hard enough time just doing the basic way. So we'll stick with the extra damage. All right, I think we have finished our preparations. Let's do this. Last trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
I get a slight break for my voice, thank goodness.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
I'll be sure to add some color commentary in between Leapatum. I don't want to make that auto-tune go to waste, of course.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Maybe we do, maybe we don't.
Was that?
That's a great reaction.
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Yeah, look who's talking, right? Come on.
Who are you calling a murderer?
Actually, I think that time worked out, Alex, because I pretty much used all the time reading all the clues and going over the case.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it.
But the blueprints did not have his handwriting.
And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
Crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
He just can't explain it, but I don't think it's him. Is Hiro really the killer? Or, before anything else, we have to make that clear. I agree, Alex. I definitely agree with that. Okay, so I think we just have one thing that we're looking for is Yasuhiro's
Everything
message.
we found in your room.
It was in his room.
The suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
The blueprints might be my clue.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Too dumb for murder.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Okay, I think I need to shoot the blueprints. I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is very nice.
Everything we found in your room. The
Okay, so I can
blueprints,
fast
the suit
forward.
parts that you are the culprit.
Oh no! It blocked me.
It's not true. It's
Hiro, what?
no.
We have to hear the
Just
chipmunks
hold on a second.
deliberate for a little bit.
Everything we found in your the blueprints, the suit parts, they
No!
are all proof in that you are the culprit.
Son of a...
It's not true.
Isn't there a trick to like remove those?
Just
I forget.
Hold on a second.
Let's see. If you hold down right bumper, you can concentrate and slow down the passage of time. I might need to do that. Right bumper, okay. If you target a weak spot and hold down the Y button, you can use that weak spot as a temporary truth bullet later in the argument. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, A button eliminates those purple ones. Yeah, I forgot what button it was. It's been so long since I've done this. So I can hold right bumper, get rid of the blue, purple words, and then shoot the correct one.
Everything we found, the blueprints, the suit parts,
Oh.
they are all...
That gave me plenty of
No,
time.
that's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this.
I really wish the whole game was voiced, to be honest.
It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
I know you guys love my amazing voice acting, but they have really good voices for these characters. I think they're all very fitting.
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
He's probably telling the truth there. Poor Hiro. He can always just go back to, I'm too stupid to do that. Oh, and Weebatome, about getting access to the room. Remember how they said that the access cards or whatever those tablet things are probably wouldn't have been anything to do with the murder, but could have been used to plant evidence, right? So maybe it's going to come into play there. And Zakobo, it seems for once in his life, Hiro is right about a conspiracy. It seems that way, I think. And Tajay, drives you crazy when the games are half voiced and half... It's tough. And what's funny is, like, I didn't hear these voices before I started creating my own voices for them. So then when they started talking, I was like, oh, I'm way off. I was way off. Not that I have great range or anything. And the whole game should have been voiced and some of the mini games removed. Yeah, that rhythm game's something else. I need to get used to it a little bit more. And you think they don't use the handbooks to open rooms? Oh, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't use the handbooks actually for that. Those are my keys. Okay. And I don't have any clues about how other people would have gotten in there.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Really, Byakuya. The music is amazing in this game. Seriously.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Whoa, hold on. I didn't say I knew that. And of course he passes it off on me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. It was the Illuminati. I mean, the only other option is Hina. I don't believe it was Hina. But what other option do I have? I don't think that's correct, but like the other ones just don't make sense. felt that sneeze coming. Bless me. Oh, that's true. Yeah, when we switched rooms, I forgot about that, Weavito. And Sheely, a lot of people hate on swim shirts, but doctors recommend them for covering up the more effective than sunblock. You can all make fun of me for wearing a shirt at the beach, but at least I won't get skin cancer. There you go, Sheely. There you go. I don't know. I'm so white, I have to bathe in sunblock. I hate it. And Byakuya did the whole 180 after investigating. First, he was like, it can be only him, right? We didn't get to talk with him much about that, though. It's always the Illuminati. Okay, she says, why me? That costume was super big on me. No way I could walk around in that thing. We're talking about a second costume. Not the one that was on Hina, or Hiro. You saw me try it on for yourself, Makoto.
Shoot!
Okay, that was not it. Yeah, that costume was definitely too big for Hina. I'm sure of it. The suspicious individual in question was the Illuminati. Am I supposed to pick Hiro again?
I got it!
What?
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Well, I thought we were just talking about the second suit. I've got mixed up there. And just because Hiro was in the suit doesn't mean he is the murderer. 100%. 100%. I like Hiro's response to be, oh, I should have tried that just for the fun of it.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
So what's the deal with the picture? Gotta think about that too.
What?
I think Celeste took the picture, right?
Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Are you getting defensive, Celeste?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Oh, now I'm remembering. Celeste, she was like beat up, right? But she said like, oh, you know, I got free. I don't really see Celeste like surviving many attacks, you know? She's not, let's say, survival of the fittest sort of thing, if we're going to go by stereotypes. It makes me think that maybe she was like in the suit and got, you know, beat up a little bit trying to do something.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
I don't think it was Sakura because she just would have ripped their head right off.
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
They're removing friends from Twitch? Why would they do that? I don't get the point. I'm not sure what that actually accomplishes. And VTuber fan, how are you doing, dude? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
The dolly.
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
It was the Illuminati. So there was two, actually. There was the tarp. Am I supposed to pick two items? And the dolly. And Tiny! Get some good sleep, Tiny. Thank you for dropping in and saying hi. Does he realize the killer talk way more and defensive? It makes sense, you know, because now they're trying to lie for themselves. That's very true. Nobody's allowed to have friends. I don't know why they would get rid of it, though. I mean, usually when Twitch makes a change, they'll try to, like, explain, like, what's the purpose of this change? I can't imagine why you want to get rid of friends, because it's kind of cool to see, like, oh, what are my friends watching right now? Let me jump in there and hang out with them, you know? Unless maybe it causes drama with certain people on Twitch. I don't know, like, why are you watching that person? You should be watching this person. I don't know. Okay, the tarp was found in... Oh, wait, we already did this. Let's present this item.
I got it!
Tarp was one of them. There's still one more thing. The things that were used to move Taka's body. So there was the tarp, and then we also have to pick the dolly. Did I go right past it? Here we go.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Every once in a while, Twitch nails it, and we get a really cool change. But it seems like it's like one step forward and two steps back. You know, they fix one thing and they make a couple other things worse. Now, of course, this won't affect me, but I saw something about them taking like the big partners pay cut from like 70% back down to 50%. And I don't understand that. I did see that, Sheely. That is so sad. Not true. Not true, Sheely. But I get the joke. No friends in real life or online. Michael, welcome, Michael. We're just starting the trial. Everybody's still blaming Hiro, but we're trying to present the evidence to try to think like maybe Hiro didn't do it. It seems like Hiro was maybe set up. We're not exactly sure who yet. I'm leaning kind of towards Celeste now, actually. And you feel Twitch has been doing weird stuff ever since Twitch has been Twitch. So forever, Weavatone. Forever. What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain.
You didn't like me presenting those items. That was weird.
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room.
That'd be more accurate. Sorry about that.
So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Hifumi.
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
And tire marks. I don't know. That has to be a custom-made robot suit for Sakura Krem.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
Yeah, May 25th, though. That's actually not too far away at all, Sheely. I don't like that. Oh, I saw your picture of all those runes, Sheely. Oh my goodness. What level are you now?
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
Yep.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
Are you just like saying speculative stuff, or did you see something? Celeste, come on. Oh, Darwayne, have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Get some good sleep, dude. And you dumped some into Vigor and Mind, and most of it just went into Dex. I got to level up my Dex in that game as well, but I'm mostly trying to level up Endurance, because I can't wear and hold everything that I have.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong, and nobody expects much from you anyway.
I mean, you had no argument, Celeste. All I have to do is say the same thing. Just say, like, oh, what if it was there? You know, I don't know. I don't get it.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Okay, that's a personal attack. And she's mostly right. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. Hey, Shan, what's up, dude? If I could just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Oh my gosh, even more mechanics? Yes, tell me about it. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, I'm doing that already? You'll see the ammo count. I thought that was just at the end. Up until now, there hasn't been a limit on how to destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. It was already tough. Now it will cost you one bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Okay, so it's like A, Y, and I gotta mix X in there as well. Just like locking on, you'll have to press X in time with the tempo marker. Basically, Remember that the X button now has a function along with A and Y. Whenever someone's really determined to get their argument across, okay, so like it's like, okay, we're locked into a debate. That's when you got to do that. Okay. And we've been telling you kind of hate how people come to these streams just to spoil and give all the answers. And you've played this before, but you don't feel the need to ruin others' experience. No, I don't know. And I mean, I'll always very politely, I think, let me know how I come across. Just let people know, no, that's not cool. We're not going to do that here. But, you know, thank you for the information, but I want to experience it on my own. But, you know, if people clearly don't want to follow rules you've explained to them and they keep going, what can you do besides mute or ban them, you know? You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. But if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. Yeah, right, Tajay? And then the smash comes. We've only had to do that a couple of times outside of The Last of Us 2. In that game, it was just spoilers as far as the eye can see. It was so ridiculous. But every other game, we've been pretty lucky. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. No, you haven't missed much for banning, Tajay. It's worked out, but I appreciate you when you can make it. Well then, good luck and have fun. Yeah, easy for you to say. Okay, X to reload. It's so tough because there's a lot of things I want to look at, but I can only look at the timeline. You know?
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do
Okay,
your
I'm trying to watch my
Away
bullets.
with you.
Trying to run low.
You miserable wretch. I
Oh god.
cannot agree.
You can't reload a bunch. You can only reload one time in between.
Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong.
I think I screwed up.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic.
Am I supposed to do something right now?
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Oh, I need more bullets.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch.
I have no idea what's going
I cannot
on.
agree.
This should prove it.
I think I did it. It's still only halfway making sense to me, that mini
If you're
game.
asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
It seemed like the rhythm portion disappeared, and I just got to mash it anytime I wanted. It was weird. I wasn't sure what was happening. A sword is actually a really neat decoration, Sheely. I do like that. And you got a self-defense weapon if you need it. Good. I'm not the only one, Michael.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room.
Oh, maybe that's who it's for, Weebitome. Certain people, that's their thing. They like to be called dirt. They like to be insulted. It's all for them.
And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
She's just looking away, playing with her hair. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. 'Cause what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look back on how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. Why, or what does he mean by that? Oh no. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm feeling a little sus on her as well, Michael. Alright, this is all about the Robo-Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
I think that's correct.
The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Oh, does it?
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
That's it?
Then
Ah!
you could push the
I
dolly no
missed.
problem.
The person in the
So
costume
killer
can't
just
bend over.
crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
Yeah, they
If you
can't
accept
crouch.
everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Yeah, okay, I gotta catch that one.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Poor hero. Okay, let's speed up to that
As
spot
we know,
again.
and from there.
Yeah.
Go,
then
chipmunks,
loading
go.
it on-
Now,
Keep in mind,
Well, yeah. All you'd have to do is bend.
Bam.
No, that's wrong.
Yep. In the suit, you have no mobility. It's like the Batman suit.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low.
Poor hero. He's just so oblivious, isn't he?
But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Oh, that's right. She tried on the suit and it didn't fit, but she says, "I'm blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing." I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Hey, Hasifa, you made it, dude. How you doing? And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. It seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Oh, nice. What'd you have for lunch, dude? We were just talking about our favorite fast food restaurants earlier.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Then it also said you can't even see your feet, right?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Oh, dang, Hasifa. Don't work too hard. I hope you get a break soon.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
on top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
That would be tricky if you can't bend over.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because... Oh, that's right. Hero tried to take off the suit and he wasn't able to. So I think it's going to be this one. Where there's a will, there's a way. It's 11:30 in Kentucky, VTuber fan. Oh yeah, 8:30 for me, but I'm in California. So yeah, we got some time difference between us. Hope it's not too late for you, VTuber. Okay, let's do this one.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
Yeah, Hero was trapped in there. Yeah, Celeste was attacked, allegedly, but I also think maybe in trying to kill somebody, maybe Celeste, you know, got beat up a little bit. I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid freaking thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. It looks like a luggage kind of thing, doesn't it? Or maybe for like a musical instrument. Those like permanent latches that don't come off easily. We really don't have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Mm-hmm. And 10:30 for you, Michael. Man, that's gonna be my bedtime then.
Then you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Hero and Hina, they're both so oblivious, aren't they?
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body It couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Man, Celeste, we got all this great evidence to the contrary, and you just keep bringing it back to some BS. You're looking more guilty every second.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice?
Oh, that's cute. I love it when they use those kind of things in other media, Sheely. Like, I've seen Ace Attorney stuff used all over the place. It's good stuff.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
And then he asks, how did you get hurt?
That guy hit me.
What guy?
Robo-Justice, that's what I decided to call him just now.
See, that's weird. Why did
So long
he
as
say
those
it like
facts
that?
exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Exactly. And there's also the fact that his dying words when asked who killed him were Yasuhiro, which is pretty damning evidence. With the note that we found too, Zakobo. Yeah.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Although, I was just thinking, like, that suit, what if, he was just moving it or something? But I think the suit, like, comes off in pieces, right? Once you're taking it off, so maybe that's not it.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
Thanks, Jill.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
That's right, Kyoko won't tell us anything.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened.
We've asked her multiple times and she just won't come clean. Nice, Sheely. Oh, that's brilliant.
I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while,
Like an
but
hour.
nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
So weird. I don't know.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
2 minutes. What's wrong?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor.
Also very shady. It's almost like she was trying to get people to like separate and, you know, get distracted.
And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
I saw him. The strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. Okay, so that makes me think it wasn't Celeste. At least it killed Hifumi. So maybe it's not the best idea because she's right here when we heard the scream, right?
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups.
I'd forgotten that little detail.
Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Oof.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
Because you need 3 people to look at a body for that announcement, I think. 3 or more.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Jada, how's it going, Jada? Do you have power? Is your power working today? Poor Jada having all those power outages. That's no fun at all.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time, Jada. That's a bummer. Is it still healing up pretty good?
Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Our character looks like he's sweating a lot.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Oh no, Jada. Well, I bet you'll probably be good to go. You got, 5 more days, I think? How many days are in April? 31, right? Or 30? We're in April 31st? I don't remember. But yeah, I think you'll be good, Jada. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing.
Yeah, Sheely, it's tough to find the perfect weapon in that game, huh? Sometimes you almost have to look certain things up just to get an upgrade. I remember by the time I was like level 70 or something, I had never upgraded any of my armor. So I just kind of looked up where are some things I can get some good armor, and that helped tremendously. Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Jada. I wish I had tomorrow off work so I could do a long stream, but I don't. But otherwise, life is good. Life is good.
Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Celeste is like the common theme for all these bodies moving and being found, huh?
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Kyoko.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
I agree 100%.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe there was 2 killers.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them no matter what. Oh yeah, be sure you keep your wound clean, Jada. It'll heal so much quicker that way. Okay, the Monokuma File 3.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Do we?
Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Yeah.
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
The hell does that mean?
So it's obvious Taka came after.
Yeah, see, I think we're going to be able to shoot the one about the order, because that doesn't really mean much. It's just a number, you know? It could be arbitrary. Not a timestamp or something. Oh, dude, you're really VTuber? That's awesome. I love video game shirts. I'm actually wearing... Let's see if I show you real quick. You guys can see that. It's a Final Fantasy VII shirt. Good stuff. Nice. That's so awesome you have a Danganronpa shirt. Yeah, Sheely, I'm always nervous to upgrade weapons in this game because of how limited some of those like high-level stones are, you know? The smithing stones. Oh, thank you, Weaver. Tell them I love it. It's kind of a Starry Night mixed with Final Fantasy VII. And you still watch me when you're doing it, and you will not be talking in chat when you're doing it. No, take your time. Take your time, Jada. Yeah, were they really used in that order? Not necessarily. Plus, there was the washed one.
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Oh, I meant to shoot that order.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
It could also be the numbering.
See?
Because
So
we
it's obvious Taka
found
came-
out one of the hammers was washed off, you know?
So, regarding, I wonder
maybe that
if
has
or
something to do
perhaps
with it.
was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Okay, that was not the correct one. Like, either one seems sketch to me, honestly. Nice, Tajay. Final Fantasy VII and Van Gogh are your two favorite things. Where did I get this shirt? I don't remember. I don't think I got it as a gift. I think I picked it out myself. But I'm trying to remember where I got it. Oh, you know what? It was one of those websites, like Society 6 or something, where people submit their own artwork and you can get it printed on a shirt. It was one of those places. It wasn't like Hot Topic or some place that commonly sells shirts. I think it was one of the more collaborative websites I found that design. And they had a whole bunch of these kind of Van Gogh things.
Shoot!
Okay, let's try that again. There's only one other option. I wasn't sure which one. They both seem weird to me.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
There we go. That wasn't it either?
Shoot!
Wait, what other options are there? Oh, the hammers. That's
So,
right. I was thinking the order, because that also has to do with
Taka's
the hammers.
I
But
wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
I'm not doing a good job.
Because of the numbering.
It's true that
Hifumi was, while Taka's death came from a swing.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Did I just miss it?
So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they
It's not
Taka
that.
came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Is
It's
that-
true that
Hifumi was
Oh,
while
it's the
Taka's
numbering, huh?
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
How did I miss it so many times? I'm gonna run out of
I
time.
wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No, I already did that one. Hold on. There's only like two options, and I've tried them both, right? I'm confused as to what I have to do.
So, regarding
I have more
Taka's
truth
death,
bullets?
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or
Oops.
perhaps
Isn't there like another button to change them?
We already know what order they were killed.
Oh, wait. Do I have to... I have to like hold... This is the other mechanic. This almost has too many mechanics, and they don't always use them. But I have to like hold down the button to absorb one to like shoot another one. Is that right?
Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering.
Let's see. I think maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Yeah, if you target a weak spot and hold down Y, you can use that weak spot as a temporary truth bullet. I think maybe that's what I need to do here. Okay, I totally forgot about that.
While Taka's death,
See? So
Gosh,
it's
I almost
obvious
wasted
Taka
all my
came
life
after.
trying to do this. Because I forgot about that mechanic I've used once.
Regarding I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Okay, there we go.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
Oh, come on, did I just get rejected?
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
My gosh, I might run out of time.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Okay, this time I'm gonna like shoot that other thing out of the
What makes
way.
you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice.
Got it.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, thank gosh.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Yeah, VTuber. I don't think I could hold down the numbering because it resets the conversation and it goes back to the first bullet. So you always have to hold down the first quotes before you can shoot it to the second quotes. Same here, Michael. I mean, they've introduced a lot of things, but when you don't use it for a long time, for me it's been what? Like maybe a week since I've done it, then I can't do it. Sheely, those disc plates look really cool. I have a word of warning. I will never buy one again, but maybe you'll have better luck than me. If you've never bought a disc plate before, maybe you've had good luck with them. But essentially it's a giant magnet, and you got to clean your wall, your paint beforehand, stick it to there, and then it looks really cool. You can move it around. Well, after about maybe 6 months to 9 months, less than a year, my disc plate, not the magnet, but the adhesive that they have failed. So this big metal plate came crashing down and destroyed my baseboard. So I had to, besides the fact that I don't want to use that disc plate anymore, I had to spend a lot of time fixing my baseboard. So be extra careful about that. Oh, can you really, Zakobo? Oh, it seemed like every time it reset, it was getting rid of my absorbed bullet. That's good to know. That's good to know.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
Yeah, it's just red herring, right?
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
I think this is going to be the hammer that was washed, maybe. Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time. Oh no, the watch. But the watch was at 6 a.m., wasn't it? So we had that watch. Hangman's Gambit. Crap, what is this? Wristwatch? Man, I forgot about this one too. I need an est. I don't need any of those. Yeah, I think it's a wristwatch. Oh, you have to do them in order. Oh no! Are you serious? Crap. I was trying to get the C because I knew we needed it at the end, but you have to do the letters in order. I didn't realize that. Yeah, and I guess if you really want a disc plate, because Hasifa, you had the similar kind of problem. Hopefully it didn't do any kind of dangerous. Sheely, here's my recommendation. If I really want a disc plate, because I like the metal style, don't use their adhesive. Do your own. Like, get some like 3M, those like sticky pads or something. Those things can be really strong. Get like a large one of those or a couple of them, and that should be good. Oh, and then the time she screams contradicts the watch. Yeah, because her scream was like at like 7 or right before 7, and then the wristwatch broke at like 6, right? Uh-oh. I think I took too much damage. Have we already come to the end of the debate? Well then, the class trial's officially adjourned. Now it's time to reveal who's the black end. Oh no, I lost this one. I screwed up too many times when I needed to absorb that first clue for the second one. I forgot about that. It would appear that the one with the most votes is Makoto. Do I always get that? Why is it me? However, Makoto is not the black end. Too bad. It looks like the real killer gets to graduate. Congratulations to them. On the other hand, everyone else must now be punished.
Is this really the end for all of us?
Oh, that's good that you had carpet. Although, I mean, mine, I had hardwood floors at the time, but it didn't really damage the floors. It more, because it came straight down, hurt the baseboards that were, you know, like right on the side. There you go, Sheely. Yeah, I do like how displates work, but I would never trust that hanging mechanism again. I would just do my own thing if I wanted a displate. Oh, Hasifa, did I miss a clue about upgrading? Sure. Yeah, I love general advice, like not spoilerish, of course. Yeah, I ran out of hearts on that one, Zakobo. What do you say? You want to give it another shot? This, I screwed up last time. I picked no on accident. We want yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
Okay, let's try that again. Luckily, I can speed run to that point. Oh, no, it lets me do that one step. Oh, that's great. I thought I was going to have to do everything else until then. That's only when I screw up and don't pick the right answers, huh? Okay, so we're looking for I. There it is. Try not to hit the wrong one. There we go. W. Oh, right there. A. There it is. Now I want to see. See, I tried to go jump ahead and get the C before I needed it. I thought, oh, I could just get the letters in whatever order I want. It's a piece of cake. Oh, H, not T. They already gave me a T. There we go.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch.
Oh, that's really handy. How big do the somber ones go to? My weapon of choice right now, Hasifa, I only have it a +5, so I need a level... Is that not how you spell it, Shan? My next level I need is a 6, and I haven't found one of those yet. But I haven't gotten the ability to purchase them either.
See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
And apparently a lot of people are selling the steed whistle from the game. Oh, in Elden Ring? Like on Etsy or something? That'd be pretty cool. That's a pretty awesome shirt, Sheely. I like that. VTuber, the music's great in this game.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Dang, I definitely have some work to do then. Hey you! How long were you going to keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock. You know that? Bedtime for all little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
It was a smart idea they had, hiding those.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Whoa, that's crappy. Yes, exactly, Tajay. There you go. Yeah, if you really want the display, because it's a really neat idea. The one I have is for that movie Donnie Darko. Just do your own mounting. Yeah, for sure. Ooh, a shirt of a turtle that says dog. Guess the price. I mean, what website did you say that was on? Again, Sheely? Was that like... I don't know if you told me the site that you were looking at. Is it on display? I'm going to guess $30 for that shirt.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That's right. And yeah, everybody's already gone in the morning, so well, nobody's following these rules.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder.
Oh, AliExpress. You can get some really cheap stuff on there. Maybe like $15?
But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
Is all that stuff from AliExpress like directly from China?
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
$118! Okay, that kind of sounds like a third-party seller just like totally fleecing people on Amazon or something. And if Taka was out of the equipment room, that means not even Ultimate Moral Compass was following it. Oh, that's true. That is true. And maybe Hifumi screamed and beat himself over the head. It's a distraction, VTuber. And that's when he screamed. Huh?
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been.
Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
I don't know about that. Ooh, what shirt are you looking to get, Tajay?
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
Yeah, I don't think so, Hiro.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared.
Did you find this shirt, Tajay? That's awesome. Nice, nice. Such a cool shirt. I love it.
When his body vanished from the nurse's office,
That's actually my favorite kind of like gaming shirt. It's something that doesn't look too gaming, like right from the outset, you know? It just looks like a nice shirt. But when you pay attention to it, you can see like, oh, that's from Mario or something like that.
Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
I forgot that they went to the bathroom.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Yeah, she was passed out.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
Ooh, and maybe there's a rule that we're unaware of? Like whoever striked first is the murderer if they get killed. What if it's like two people hitting each other at the same time, right?
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
Yeah, now you can't just kind of say nothing, Kyoko. You actually have to tell us what's going on. And the only people without an alibi for Hifumi's disappearance are Hiro and Kyoko, yeah. And Starry Night in particular was a painting that inspired you to be an artist when you were young. Oh, Tajay, that's awesome, dude. And nothing came of it. Your family excelled at crushing dreams and snuffing out talent. Aw, but it's still an eternal love. It's never too late, dude. It's never too late to, start trying it out, practice, that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure he said whoever lands a killing. Oh, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it.
That's fast.
But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Sakura? Please tell me it's not you.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Is it steroids?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
I like that music change. That's cool.
The dead body moved on its own?
Hifumi wasn't actually dead.
No! Not another ghost!
Okay, it can't be Hero. Come on.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
You guys need to get better at checking corpses. Come on.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Oh, nice, Akoba. I really like this track. I like it a lot. And Tajay, the carpal tunnel, says it's much too late. Oh, you can't even make it 20 minutes into a sketch without the pain. Oh, that sucks, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is very debilitating, for sure. Oh, yeah, there was like blood bags in like a refrigerator. That's right, VTuber.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? We just gotta start, kicking all these corpses around a little bit, see if they react. Okay, broken wristwatch.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
I'm nervous to do
there's
these
a
now.
chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
It happened at the same time.
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, maybe that wasn't the correct one, but it has to do with them finding two bodies at once, I'm sure of it. What does that have to do with what I said? Or do you not know what you're doing? Shut up. Dang it. I like to jump the gun. I should wait for everything to be played out first. Yeah, or check the pulse, right, Alex?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
There's a chance you... No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body that Hifumi's dead,
And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I think this is another one where I have to absorb one and use it on another one. I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once, but Hifumi and Taki's body were discovered at almost the same time.
are you saying that when we first found
the broken
Hifumi in
wristwatch
the
we don't
nurse's
care about right
office,
now.
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why
dead body
the
had been
announcement was
found.
made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Dang it. Okay, I can't combine someone else's found with the body discovery. What do they want? What do they want? And low-key Nathan, how you doing, dude? Welcome to the stream. And when you hit the orange text, you're saying that that person was wrong. Okay, I thought I was just trying to find like contradictions or something. I see. Kind of forgot how that mechanic really works.
Are you saying that when we first found
So none of them were
Hifumi,
wrong,
there's a
necessarily.
chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
So I think that could be true. There's a chance he was still
Hifumi was dead.
alive.
Without it, and you know that. Surely you heard the body that
Let's see the other
Hifumi's
one.
dead body had been found. And
Okay, maybe
that
that's
is
the
why
wrong
the
one.
announcement was made.
But the dead body was found.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Let's try this. Let's do that thing you were talking about, Zakobo, where we absorb the last one and then seeing that. So let's see if it kept that ability.
Are you
It
saying
did.
that when we
Okay.
first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that's
There
not.
we go. There we go. So yeah, you can do that whole, let's call it the reach around, to take
Was
the
the body
final clue you
discovery
said earlier.
announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
And Nathan can shout you out saying what? What are you trying to say, dude? And the handkerchief with blood and the clean glasses, and then you think he got up and wiped his glasses. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a ton of sense. Nice, Jada. Keep on cleaning. Yeah, make sure you're all good to get to class again in just a few days.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
And there were 3 people there as well, I believe.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
What perfect timing for him.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Agreed.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Hey, there we go. I like that.
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail.
I think you should be able to tell us the mechanics. That's fair.
But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Oh, I actually kind of forgot about that. That makes total sense.
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when... I think it was actually when both bodies were rediscovered. My memory is kind of failing me. As you guys know, my memory is absolute garbage. I'm going to try for this one.
I got it!
Thank goodness.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin. Remember, it kind of seemed a little different. Yeah, when we both saw them. Ooh, you're getting so close, Alex. Maybe not by the end of this stream, but the next stream for sure, dude.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
That's right.
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
This is getting so complicated. I love it.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
This is going to be the cleaning the glasses thing.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Oh my gosh.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. I think this is going to be the glasses. Yeah, super helpful, Jill. Thanks. Yep, we got the glasses as our bullet. This is probably correct.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Yeah.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Bam!
No, that's wrong.
That's the wrong one. Break.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses.
Mm-hmm.
That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository...
And, oh, seriously, Zakoba, it feels like Celeste has been on the defense this entire trial, right? Kind of sketch, kind of sus.
They were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Mm-hmm. The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was... this one, the glasses cleaning cloth, which looks like his cloth. It's got like that anime character on there he knows. That's right. Yeah, she did.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear.
It's so funny how that works out, right, young daddy? I would have never thought that from the beginning, but it turned out that way.
This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean.
It was all about not being able to bend over. That's kind of where it's going, Alex, a little bit.
And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
At least I know we're not the imposter. Imposter's so stressful.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Oh. I just had a revelation. Remember when we first found that? And didn't Celeste borrow that camera? And she said, oh, you guys can all use it anytime you want, or something like that? Or was that a different item? I thought it was the camera. Maybe it was something else. But I remember Celeste taking something and saying, you guys can use it whenever. Yeah, she remembered the star. True. I'm sus. Makoto isn't. There you go, Sheely. Good distinction.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Dang, Byakuya. How do you really feel?
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
Hero.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That is the thing that didn't make much sense to me. Why clean them? Makes sense if the guy actually had to get up and move around, right? You are absolutely suspect, Michael. Finally, it's not just me.
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
You know, VTuber, there was a PlayStation game called That Princess, I think it's what it's called. Made me think of that when I heard that name.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
The shade for Hifumi.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead,
Copious corpse.
what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Nice job, Kyoko.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
She's like, I would have done that so much better.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained.
I'm just scared, Sheely, we're gonna still be fat shaming poor Hifumi like in the next chapter. It just won't end.
It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's corpse was kind of what I was thinking, Hifumi, because he wasn't dead yet. He actually killed Taka.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
It was Taka. Nobody died. Everybody's faking it. What if we all pretended to be dead? Would Monokuma just kind of like, toss our bodies out and we'll all be free? Oh, well, that's true, Alex. Genocide Jill would have spilled real blood. Technically, it was real blood. It just wasn't like, fresh blood.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
Yeah, because it was a one-door lock. That's right. Or only locked from the inside.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
Yep.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Man, that twitching profile pic on the side drives me crazy. It's so intense. And blood expires after a couple months, so that blood was hopefully fresh. Oh, even when you refrigerate it or anything, Sheely? I had no idea.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yep.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Now, this might be stretching, but it also makes me think more of Celeste being involved, because Hifumi just worshipped Celeste. So he would do anything for her. Even kill. Would you kill for a Klondike bar? VTuber fan. Anime!
There's more?
A lot of good anime emotes.
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
And counterpoint, Celeste hated him, which might indicate Celeste would want to set him up for everything, right? That's why she was able to get that picture taken with the costume and all that. That was kind of weird.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note. Sorry about that, Zakobo. Objection! The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka, could it be? And it was the note that was half torn. This one, yeah, getting him to go there at 6 in the morning. And Taka had just that last corner, so it was ripped out of his hand. So let's do this one.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden down his pants, which is apparently not as bad as your socks.
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Calm down, Jill. Calm down. Oh, that's a good point, Sheely. I never thought about it that way. That makes a lot more sense.
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Everyone's excited about his pants. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said...
Oh, dang, only 42 days.
Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I think everybody was getting hot and bothered by his pants.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
Oh, maybe they're referring to undergarments. That might make more sense. Makes it even more mortifying.
And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants. They got in touch with Taka as well. Because he had the note and it was ripped out of his hand.
I got it!
Nice, Jada. Good
That's
job.
right. Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
What?
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi.
They're nicknames. Right? Okay. I was like so confused. What? It was not Hifumi's pants?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Yeah, TikTok. What? Is that the real villain here? Oh no. This again. Okay, broken wristwatch, Hifumi's glasses, and the glasses cleaning cloth. Those are my three options.
Huffy had the note, right?
Let's listen to everything.
Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
I think the broken wristwatch is going to be the correct
doesn't
one.
matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that last clue with the broken wristwatch. That's my guess. Yeah, the time on the note said 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? His watch got busted. That's what I need to clear up.
Huffy had the note, right?
Oh, I bet, Jada.
Then the
Yeah, you were
person
doing
it
a lot
was
of work.
intended for must have been Huffy. But remember, what time did it? 6 a.m. The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
The Simpsons effect. Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
That's something I really should do, is like put some of our funniest clips on like TikTok and stuff. Just one of those things I don't, necessarily take enough time out of my other free time to do that. But that would be a smart idea.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch.
Oh no, Jada. Well, what's the closest day I am streaming on there? We could wish you a happy birthday on that day. The one right before it.
But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
Mm-hmm.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Thanks, Jill. You're so helpful. Taka doing TikTok dances. I love it.
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
Let's see, the 22nd, would that be the day after your birthday? Do I stream on the 20th, Jada? In which case, that might be the best time to wish you a happy birthday.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Mm-hmm. Then I think we found that chunk of note like in his hand. Oh, there we go. I guess depending on time zones and different countries, Tasha. Yeah, I might actually be streaming on your birthday. That'd be awesome.
Huh? He stole it?
The only thing Jill is really helpful at is letting us know when she didn't do it, because there aren't scissors everywhere.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
But just because Jill doesn't do it doesn't mean that... What's the real character's name? I haven't heard it in a while. She could still do it without scissors. Okay, proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka. That was the little chunk of note we found in his hand, yeah.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
How did we not do that a long time ago? It's like, we have a piece of paper missing a corner, and we have a corner of a piece of paper. I don't know, that's the first thing I would do.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Man, if I had, you know, the job you guys think I have with my detective skills, I would have been fired a long time ago. Would not have gotten my recent promotion.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip,
Rigor mortis?
leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Oh yeah. I mean, it implicates him.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
I don't believe he actually understands any of this. I think he's just kind of going with the flow.
In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
There it is. Thanks, hero, for proving me right.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
How do you know? You thought he was dead the first time. Maybe he actually is still alive. Except for the fact that the thing told us there was a body. How would that thing know, actually?
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
Oh, no, VTuber. Is that what you were watching on? What are you watching on now?
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
Right, young daddy? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Fantastic. Oh, you got to charge in again, VTuber. Nice. Usually if my phone like completely dies, I gotta wait like a minute or so before I can really start turning it back on. It has to get a little bit of a charge before I can do anything. That's true, Sheely. Kyoko knows all about them pants.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
What?
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Are you actually thinking, hero?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
There's the washed mallet.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Yeah, I was like, that does not sound like the hero I know. Where did that come from? I love it. True. At least Kyoko wears gloves when searching pants.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments.
It always looks like she's kind of winking at us right there, doesn't it? Like, she has two working eyes, but she's always kind of like one eye closed. And Staring at us at the other one there.
But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
Oh, I didn't think about that, Alex. Now we can't trust Hiro. He's getting too clever.
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
I don't know, Celeste. Which hammer did you use to kill him?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The washed hammer. The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow, I have to find the truth. Spotless hammer. Good. There we go. It actually gave me the right bullet right away.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Maybe that
Was
right
it
there.
Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Nope, that was not correct. Dang it. Because there was no Justice Hammer 5. I thought that might have been the Spotless Hammer.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I want to stab you seriously, adorably serious face off.
Shoot!
Oof.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
See, some of these things, like,
Maybe
used to
Justice
kill
Hammer
Hifumi,
4?
you can't say that's, like,
Well,
wrong.
Whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure
But maybe
out.
you can, like, take
How
that
was
and
the
use it somewhere
culprit
else.
able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty
Murdergear.com.
clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
That one, okay.
No, that's wrong.
It's close. It's close.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
Now, in a case like that, like the clues that you had to shoot were almost identical. Justice Hammer 5, one of the Justice Hammers. Like, how would you know, besides like a coin flip, which one of those to pick? But you know it's the correct. You're on the right path. And Zakobo, you were positive Hiro has the most valid weak spots of any character in the game. It's kind of funny with how he acts the whole time, right? Just so clueless. And VTuber, I think you might be onto something.
But seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi.
Maybe he's just playing dumb, Zakobo. It's all a ploy.
Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Because, I mean, that's the only time you would ever clean a hammer is after you get blood all over it, right?
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
But, I mean, they're not using these very often. It should have been at least dust on there. Hiro is the mastermind. He's been playing dumb, so no one will expect... It's working! It's working. None of us expect him. So it's actually a brilliant plan.
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma Files note about the wounds being similar.
Leap it to him. I see where you're going with that. It's kind of like how you start asking the witness questions to make them incriminate themselves. Not gonna catch me. And look at that man's eyes and tell me any thoughts are going through his head. Oh, wait.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Oh, really, Celeste? Why do you find that so strange? Maybe because, like, you'd probably be the one working with him?
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Maybe he thought someone else was gonna play in his pants. I don't know. Tell us, Celeste. Oh, Alex, good luck at the dentist, dude. I pray for little to no pain at all. Hopefully you have a smooth one. We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least, that's what we thought at first, but... like Jimmy Neutron with that hairstyle? I've never actually seen Jimmy Neutron, but I know of the character. Oh, nice, Alex. Well, thank you so much for keeping the alert going.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
I might have to hear this
really
again.
Applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Can we really say there's no chance two people worked on this?
Based on the rules
I don't think we need Spotless
Hammer
for this.
Even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible that
I'm gonna
two
absorb
people
it possible.
work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
And that's true. That was only two things, right? Two murders. I'm not sure what they're asking me to
Based on the
do.
rules that have been laid out for us,
I still have impossible selected. I'm gonna take a wild guess that I'm supposed to shoot the last one with impossible.
However, there were two murders.
Oh, I missed.
based on the rules
Dang
that
it.
have been laid out, even if more than one, only the one who actually can, assuming the rule holds true. It is
I'm gonna have to
simply
slow down at the end
impossible
there. That was really
That
fast.
is, but that only really applies in this case, however. There were two murders.
Nope, that wasn't it. Dang it.
Shoot!
I don't imagine it's gonna be, and the two murders, they do it the opposite way. Okay. That makes more sense,
Based
I
on the
guess.
rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true. That
Yeah.
is,
But that only
Luckily,
really applies
we've
if
used it
there's
recently,
one
Weave
murder,
Atome, so I
right?
remember it
In this
exists.
case, however, there were two murders.
So now that we got two murders
Based on the rules
in our
that have,
chamber.
even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act, can, assuming the rule
Yeah, because
holds true.
impossible's the thing that's actually wrong.
No, that's wrong.
That makes more sense. Okay. Because it absolutely is possible.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
But if we got two murders and two people murdering, then like they could both be free, right? Except that she ended up killing him.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, There wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Yep.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies.
It's a smart plan.
By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Tricky. Betrayal.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Notice that as we're getting very close, Celeste has shut the hell up. We haven't heard from her. The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same, that was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. And how could anyone be so cruel, says the student at murder school, right? Right? And the killer really should have paired with 100%. 100%. Hifumi left so much evidence. It was so bad. Taka is always the moral compass. Which is why she said not to look at the series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, though. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Could she be the one working with Monokuma? Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Oh, I love this so much. See, most of them have been like, yeah, that's like 100% it. In my opinion, not even evidence points to it. Just what we know about the characters points to Celeste. She's been a little shifty and like kind of fighting every piece of evidence. But more than anything, I think that she would be the one most able to convince Hifumi to do all this stuff and then do that in the end. So my guess is Celeste. Do you guys have any other ideas? Any other guesses? That's my one. So we still have Genocide Jill. I don't see much about her. We could pin it on ourselves. Maybe that's the right answer. We got Sakura. I don't see anything pinning her. Kyoko, she knows too much, but I think she might have some weird in with Monokuma. And then Hina, she seemed pretty... I don't know. Hina was very strong to try to pin it on Hiro in the beginning. I don't think it's Hiro. And then Byakuya, I don't really see any reason to think it's him. And the killer was good at manipulating the rules, like the announcer of the 2-kill rule, so we would all scatter. And Celeste is like the best gambler, right? Yeah. And she said her name is Celestia Ludenberg. I don't remember that. And the killer's good at manipulating the rules. I already read that. And you just realized Celeste is the one with no last name? Oh, that's why you said the last name. And when Celeste introduced herself, she just said, "Call me Celeste." Okay, I'm going to go for this one. Fingers crossed.
Here's my answer.
Ooh, I think it's correct.
It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
Aha. That changed her impression right there.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Or even Hifumi could have come up with the idea. But I think you killed him.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Well, what happened to her Japanese accent?
Pardonnez-moi.
Wait, now is she French? What was that?
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Or is it French accent? Sorry, I thought it was kind of like Japanese.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Yeah. What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Oh, it comes back to Hifumi's pants. No. The screaming? We heard them both scream around the same time. They were screaming to get people's attention. Remember? Like we heard Hifumi scream, which got us all to go there, but then I think that she screamed the first time, and that's what got us to go there. So maybe it's the screaming. What is encountering the suspicious individual? Oh, the robot. The robot. Yeah, no, that's definitely what they have in common too. I feel like they have two things in common. Let's go with this one. The picture. The picture is very shady right now.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
I think it's Celeste, Alex.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Oh, is it always French, Sakoba? I'm terrible at accents. But like the way she said like certain like Japanese names always sounded very Japanese to me, but that makes sense.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Byakuya.
Sorry.
That's rude.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Oh, probably.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
She saw something on the 3rd floor moving around. Yeah, I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the 2nd floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen.
Excuse me. Agreed, Taja. Every once in a while, there's certain letters. Like if you look at specifically right there, the eyes, I swallowed something weird, are just not quite spaced in the middle. It's like shoved up against the F. Bugs me too. That is the opposite of dyslexia-friendly font, isn't it? Or is that actually the dyslexia-friendly font? I was going to say that makes it actually harder for me to read. Because it starts to make me think it's like two different words.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the 3rd floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Like maybe the font is okay, but yeah, the spacing's like all wrong.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab,
Yep.
it was time for her partner to get to work.
Case in point, Tajay. I don't think I turned it on. We'll have to check the options, Sheely. I usually check that, but maybe I missed that. If it has a dyslexia-friendly font, we definitely need to turn it on. What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Ifumi! He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that
Yep.
we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
I love their plans. Like, they're all really good plans, and it feels good to find them out. Then why don't we split into 2 groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I'll feel so sad if I played like half of this game without picking the right font. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura. Counting 3 people. You know, like, oh, we need 3 people to see this?
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Man, all those things make way more sense now. And if Hiro is not the culprit, why did Hifumi say that the culprit was Hiro? Because they were trying to pin it on him with that costume. Part of their thing was dressing him up and getting him stuck so he couldn't get the costume off, so that the picture would make him look like he's guilty.
And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Sound kind of fake.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing.
She's really quiet right now.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I just kind of thought about this, but you know what's kind of sad? They really get you to like try to get to know these characters and get attached to them by giving them gifts and like going on these little like hangouts. And then you gotta murder them or, you know, find them guilty and get rid of them. That's so sad. I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
I just can't wait to see Celeste like turn it around, because whenever you find somebody guilty, they completely just lose their and start going nuts, and I can't wait to see her reaction.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Ah.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
Here it comes.
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I love the inflection in her voice changing.
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Oh, was that before we even found the second corpse? And she's calling out 2 people dead? Oh, 100% Sokobo. Oh my goodness! Forsaken Kraken. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome, Raiders, to John Cadia. Let me give you a shout out there. And Chaining Expert, it's good to see you too, dude. Forsaken, how was your stream? What were you playing? How did it go? Oh, thank you, Tajay. Doing some more Elden Ring. We've been talking about Elden Ring, actually. I was learning a little bit about upgrading weapons and stuff. I know you're probably further than me, but I guess no spoilers. Are you nearing the end of the game? How are you doing in there? But hope your stream went well. Thank you so much for the raid. And if you guys want to see some Elden Ring, be sure you click on that link and check out some of his streams. Forsaken's a great guy to watch. And you've been doing Dark Souls? Is it anything like Dark Souls? Just more nerdy? And I say, you just hit a boss that has the most ginger hair you have ever seen. Okay, that's definitely further than I have gotten. I've not found any red-haired character bosses yet. Appreciate that. It has been sucking. Oh, you are doing Dark Souls. Okay. How are you liking it, though, besides, sucking? Those are hard games, for sure. But are you enjoying yourself at all, Monkey? All right, we're just about to wrap up this case. Good timing.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Elden Ring is painful, but man, it's enjoyable. I'm playing it with my wife co-op, which means it's taking a long time because we have to do everything twice, but it's super fun.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Yeah, she shouldn't have known about that.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Good catch, Byakuya.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You don't see what he's talking about at all, Hero.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said?
Oh yeah, Monkey. I've definitely gotten in some bad situations where I fall off a cliff, I don't lock on properly, I do something like that, dead. Dead, dead, dead.
If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
What level is your character in that game now, Forsaken? Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? Oh, I get to point out what we already pointed out. Okay. I think we're going to have to absorb something.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused.
Us?
They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay, so strange, I think, is the word I have to take, and we have to use that when he says the two guys died. When she said that, she should have only known about Hifumi's death. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said is... Oh, of course, Forsaken, anytime, dude.
All I said was...
I think so strange is the correct bullet.
The sight of us they must be...
We are all going to die here.
Not
we
that
are going
one.
to die, just like...
That one.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, first try. Finally. I haven't had one of those in a while.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Sometimes I've noticed that, Frost. Like, they'll kind of give us most of the case, and it's, like, kind of obvious at that point. But then you just have to point it out. Which then sometimes the tricky part is using the right bullet on the right comment. Knowing what they're trying to, attach to it. How's it going, Frost? Good to see you. Oh, you're doing a magic build? And you've been grinding for a few things. Nice, Monkey. I've never played magic in any of these games, but I think I might try a separate build later on in Elden Ring and check magic out.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall.
Byakuya already said that.
So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
But yeah, you have to give us the chance to do it, even if you've already done most of it, yeah. Yeah, I've heard the mage can get really strong in those FromSoft games, for sure. Never tried one. I've always been kind of big, tanky, lots of dodging.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Nice. So why dexterity, I guess? Are there certain weapons you still want to use that require dex? Freaking out in the corner there. Get ready for her to explode.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
She still has that poker face.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw.
Oh, you need it for the dodging? Okay, does that make you like dodge further? Have like more invincibility frames or something?
Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
You guys just set that up. That's what I thought from the very beginning once Hiro kind of explained his side of the story. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know how good a bow and arrow is in that. Although soul arrows, that's like a magic thing, right? I know they have bow and arrow in Elden Ring. I haven't tried it yet much. I use a crossbow, but very rarely. Mine does like no damage.
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
Oh, nice. I've heard the katanas are really good, Michael. I haven't tried one yet. And the soul arrows are magic, and you just got fireballs. Sweet, dude.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
No.
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
No. Other explanations. If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is they're dancing. They've been drinking, or Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. What? So are they telling us the body is in that, maybe? Or he's dragging just like the costume, maybe. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what they're going for. I'm gonna try that.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away.
I love that they're dancing. And you like the samurai so far, Sheely, but you're still early on. You know, I'm pretty high level, but I feel like I'm pretty early on in the game. Yeah, Hifumi's carrying Hiro.
I would say it's a
that's
picture
right.
of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
I forgot about Hiro being in the costume. Yeah, we don't know when that picture was taken. That makes total sense. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit.
Mm-hmm.
We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
100%.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Poor Hiro.
Such a thing is utterly impossible.
Come on.
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Damn. Whoa, Celeste. Okay. It's gonna be like that, huh? Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Man. She's getting testy. Pretty soon she's gonna lose it. Okay, we got 3 bullets. The Justice costume, Yasuhiro's message, and what was the other one?
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped
The
me across
Blueprints.
Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
If I remember right, Hina said, she said that she couldn't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious,
I'm gonna have to absorb one of these, I
there's
think.
no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
I think we're gonna use the stand up straight against the unconscious thing, because even if they were unconscious, they would still be standing up straight, right? Because you couldn't fall over,
Dressed
really.
me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi. You tried to make me look like the bad.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside the suit was unconscious,
Oh, maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the unconscious is true, but the stand up straight is not? Let's see, your meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time. Crap!
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed
Or
out.
maybe it's the costume.
Then you just draped me across Hifumi.
The costume could also be the correct retaliation for that.
Like the bad guy.
like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside there's no way they could stand up.
There we go. Costume and stand up straight. Whew. I was like worried I
No,
might take a few times.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
They can't flop over. You totally can't bend at the waist. It seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
So it looks like he's standing up even when he's unconscious. Oh, she's starting to crack.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Wow.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Now she's gonna explode. Or be really calm, I don't know.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
There it is. There goes the accent too.
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
She's kind of scarier than Genocide Jill, isn't she? That's right. Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked
right.
him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
Because you guys were working together.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
What?
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
She sounds so different. It's crazy.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He gave us nicknames. Or wait, no, that was what Jill does. Jill gives us nicknames. I think he said last names.
I got it! That's right! our last names.
Yeah.
He called us all by our last names.
Yeah, so that's weird that he would do that.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
Yep. Tasha, you nailed it. You nailed it.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
I mean, he was dying, right?
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation?
Here, Byakuya, don't talk. Shut up. I'm guessing Michael, the fake accent was probably just because like she's like the best liar ever. You know, she's a great gambler, poker face kind of thing. Just wanted everything to be a lie. Hard to nail her on anything.
No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
You guys were saying that we didn't know her last name. Yeah.
What did you just say?
Oh.
To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
The voice is awesome.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Well, you're looking kind of crazy.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
But like she would really tell us this right now, right? Yeah, a little bunk.
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making
There it
me
is.
repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Oh, now we have that verbal battle, right? Mini game time, the rhythm one. I have a hard time with this. Okay, X is reload. Is this it? No, we're still doing this. Okay, good. We got the handbook. Spotless hand. Oh! Let's take a look at
Hifumi
her
was trying to tell us
handbook.
something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that
That would
last
tell us the
name,
truth.
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
Is
How
Ludenberg
long
your
do
middle
you
name?
plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me...
Bam!
No, that's wrong.
Your handbook will tell us the truth. Haha.
That's it. The handbook.
What?
That was a neat little clue they gave us earlier, that the handbook has nothing to do with the murders, but you never know when they might still come in handy for something. That was a cool callback. I like that. Ooh, Ludenberger. And Celeste is by far the most obvious culprit in the series, which is a shame, given that she is meant to be the queen of liars. That's a good point, Zakobo, yeah. True. And I've noticed that too, Sheely. I mean, I could be as dumb as rocks from time to time. And like, I've been calling out most of these steps like well before we get to them, you know? And I'm like, oh, do I have to actually like say that? I thought it was obvious, you know, kind of thing. So that makes a lot of sense, Sheely. And her being so easy to find out as a killer is a bit of a disservice to her character. Yes, right? It's kind of like, you know, sometimes in a show or something, the story arc, your character just suddenly takes turn. You're like, wait a second, that didn't make sense for that character. Not going to call out any particular shows, but I'm thinking of some. And Celeste is good at lying at poker or whatever she plays, but that doesn't mean she's good at making a murder plan. Touché. Or also that she just picked the wrong partner and caused way, way more problems for her than you know, would have helped her. And the characters act like this is a really good murder plan a little bits ago, but a little bit. Yeah, I'd say the murder plan was actually really neat. They were just way too sloppy. Like you guys were saying, Hisufu. What's his name? Hisufi? It was just way too sloppy and left like clues and problems everywhere.
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's
Hifumi,
name when it
thank you.
boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday handbook, so it has many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
Oh yeah, 100%. Santa Claus Jr., how could you spoil that? In the upcoming Harry Potter, was it Star Wars collaboration coming up? How are you doing, dude?
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
No!
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Oh, the music stopped. You know it's about to happen.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because...
She sounds kind of like, what was his name? Leon? That was going like, stupid, 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 stupid.
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then, let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Yeah, Marvel Endgame 2, now we know. Oh, here comes the minigame. Oh no, this part. Okay, good, good. I think I'll still probably have to do that other one, but that'll be tricky. Yeah, we've come to the conclusion, Santa Claus, that Celeste, real smart character, picked a really dumb partner and left so many clues. It was just way too easy, I think. Okay, so remember, right to left. So it looks like they're having their little meeting about how they're going to do all this. How does this start? What is even going on here? He's sweating way too much. I can't tell. Does she give him a bag of chips? Is that what that's supposed to be? I'm not sure. Hey, Brian. How you doing, dude? Welcome. They have to buy you Warner Brothers first. Tajay, don't give Disney any more ideas. They'll do it. Oh, I forgot. I can look at these things as like clues, right? I always forget this. You can like... How does it work? Oh no, I look at this portion. In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? No, I think it was chips. What is this I'm looking at right there? Oh, I think that's him pushing a dolly. For some reason, that looked really bad to me. Okay, I'm gonna say the chips. That's all it took to convince him was chips. Yes, Monkey, I forgot all about that question mark thing last time. Let's see. I look like a voice actor. Wait, is that a compliment or is that a derogatory term? That's like, what do you say? There's another saying that's like, wow, you got a face for radio. Which means we don't want to see you. You have a decent voice, but yeah, stay off of camera. Is that what you're trying to say? Let's check this. What time did the killers call their victim to the rec room? So we had that broken watch. Or not the broken watch. Yeah, 1 o'clock is when it first started. The broken watch was at 6 a.m. That was later. Yeah, Frost. I'd say this is probably the weakest one. At least you're honest, Santa Claus. I appreciate it. I look like a human being. No! All right, what's this one? Oh, who was it the killer summoned first? Let's see here. Oh, what is this picture of? That one might be it too. Oh, this one. Yeah, they summoned him so they could trick him and drug him up or something and put him in that costume. Stop it, Santa Claus. Stop it. And Sheely, even the first one wasn't super obvious until closer to the end. And this one you knew it was Celeste in about 5 minutes in the investigation. I definitely didn't get it that quickly, Sheely, but I had heavy suspicions probably halfway through the investigation of Celeste. They knocked him out, then stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit to falsify their evidence. And they used a certain item to do it. Knocked him out. What is this thing? They knocked him out. I guess I was thinking he was drugged, but maybe not. Okay, so let's see. He looks like he's playing with the suit. I guess we can't really tell what's going on there, huh? They knocked him out, stuffed him in the robo-suit. What is going on here? This step I'm kind of confused about. Oh, Santa Claus, thank you so much for the follow, dude. It's one of my pups Gus right there. Oh, you could totally make it, Santa Claus. You could totally make it. Oh, I was reading the wrong part there, Monkey. I think you're right, the camera. I was thinking, like, what did they use to knock him out? They're talking about what did they use to falsify the evidence. That was it. What time was Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? 6 o'clock. I think that's the correct one for there. 100% young daddy. And you remember John accusing Celeste a lot before the investigation began? He would point out how weird it was. Yeah, right? We would tell him, like, in the very beginning, I kind of thought, oh, what's going on with Byakuya and Genocide Jill? Like, what were they doing during all this? But then, the more we interacted with Celeste, the more she seemed guilty way before the actual investigation started. Okay, so that's when he hammers poor Taka in the back of the head. Crack. He's laughing about it. The Justice Hammer was used to kill Taka. What number was it? Oh, crap. Was the Taka one 4? I think it was 4. It was like a bigger one. It kept getting bigger with a bigger number, right? And Sheila, you knew it because of how obviously involved she was from the very beginning. Yeah, with screams and telling people to go look in places. And she was the one that said, I don't need that money. Who would want that? True. True. Okay, then let's see. We get shown the camera. And I like how it makes her the killer right there. That's Celeste. And then we find him in the library knocked out. Right? Which one is that? Oh, I should read this. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Use something to fake a shadowy criminal. Was that the other hammer? Maybe it's another Justice Hammer. I'm not sure. And let's see, something you think is hilarious is that if you were to lose all of your hearts, even now, everyone would just think Makoto... I know, that's just how it works. As soon as you lose your hearts, it's your fault, right? Oh, should there be no blood on the hammer? I'm trying to remember, because, I mean, he was hit. Oh, because he wasn't bleeding yet, right? Or was he bleeding in the beginning? No, I guess I don't see any blood on him. Yeah, so that makes sense. It'd be a smaller one. Good call. And then he puts a bunch of fake blood on him, make it look like that. Which Justice Hammer was in the nurse's office when Hifumi was pretending to be dead? Then I'm going to say 3. For the pretending. That could be 4. I kind of get the numbers mixed up. So we walk in here, we see him, then they find Taka at the same time. It could always be me. It could always be me. Oh, nice, Jade. I know you're a big fan of Among Us. I was going to say, like, I could have sworn when we first found him, he already had blood on him, but I guess it didn't happen until later, when he actually faked his death. The first time we found him in the library, he wasn't dead, right? Or looking dead. He was just kind of like knocked out when we woke him up. Okay, so we found the bodies, then he has to go upstairs to the 3rd floor, grab the body. So I think this one is going to be when he's pushing it. Yep, he used something to take the body, so now we're going to go to him pushing this. And then he's very excited to see Celeste again, as you can tell. Celeste cracks him with the hammer. And this one is going to be the weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi. What was it? This is going to be the hammer without the painting on it. This one. Yeah, okay. I might have 1 or 2 wrong in there, but I think we generally have it. Poor Mondo. That one was really sad. And, of course, Chihiro. That was really sad, too. And you can tell it has to be one of the blue ones, the colored ones, because of the handle right there. Oh, it even shows 4 there. Okay. So yeah, I think that's correct. I think that's right. Yeah, and the last one was not a Justice Hammer, just a standard one that they had to wash off. I think we might have it. Let's try it out.
Here's exactly what happened.
Maybe. Let's see.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Oh, I got the first one wrong. It did not use the chips to convince him. Oh, was it that ball? I actually forget what that ball was. That was quick. Okay, in this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? See, I don't know what some of these pictures are. Like, this one looks like he's just sweating like crazy. Maybe that's it. It's just supposed to be him, like, really excited. You don't get much else out of there. But that could be it. Ooh, what's the hot tip, Frost? The only one I know of is to, like, look at the question mark first, you know, to, like, get more information. Or the backpack. He's already wearing the backpack, so I don't know why that would show up there. It looks like she's given him something, doesn't it? And he looks like he's just, you know, messed his pants. So my guess is it could also be this ball. It looks like she's handing him something. And it's looking for who they talked into helping them, so it would be him. And if the item is identical in the images, then it's... Oh, I see. That's a good call. I didn't think about that, Frost. I thought maybe it's just, like, focusing on that item, you know? Yeah, because the chips, it looks identical to that. I'm thinking it's that. It really looks like they're handing something over right here. Okay, let's try that.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder.
I can't get the first one right. Come on, game. Okay, maybe it is just him, you know, about to mess his pants. Just standing in front of her. I don't have many other options. There's this one, but this is like from a different, like, thing altogether, right? Oh, wait. No, is that her? Is that supposed to be her? I couldn't tell from the hair, but, like, I mean, if that's actually her in the picture, that could be it. The killer was a ball. Well, it's what did she use to convince him, which I assumed you know, seduction, but none of these look like seduction, but it could be that one. Yeah, it could be? Okay. Before we do that, I really, really need to use a restroom. So, you guys are going to have a quick battle royale. Not only is there murder in the game, you guys are going to murder each other. I'll be right back. Okay, who won? Jada! Congratulations, Jada. You are a top-tier murderer in this community. Just kidding. No legal binding to that. Okay, let's get back to it. And you have no idea what I'm looking at because I'm covering it. Oh, you mean like right here in this screen? That's true. I guess you guys can't see that. There it is, right underneath my arm. It looks like a poster from a previous trial that got some blood splattered on it. I didn't think that had anything to do with her exactly, but I mean, that could be her. I didn't think she was a model. She was like a gambler, right? But let's try that. Maybe that's supposed to indicate seduction. Oh, fingers crossed.
The killer is
I can't even get the
you.
first step right.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Oh my god. I mean, maybe I grabbed something wrong over here. Wait, it's saying the first person they persuaded? How did the killer recruit their accomplice? I guess, yeah, I know you told me that, Taji, but it doesn't make sense based on this statement. Maybe the statement's actually making it more confusing to me. How did they? By a sweaty-ass handshake. That's foul, right?
The killer is you!
It seemed like it had to be like an item, I guess.
Before
But accomplice
anything,
was the word.
The killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder.
Back
And
of
that
chick
person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
My problem there, and now I understand, to better help in the future, is I was focused on the question as a whole. I wasn't focused on the word highlighted. If I just looked at accomplice and that was it, would have been golden. But it said, like, how did they recruit the accomplice? So I'm like, sex? Chips? A ball? Like, you have to give him something, right? I'm so confused. Oh, it could have been a translation thing. That's true. But highlighting the word accomplice definitely, yeah, did that. And the things not highlighted, just fluff text. That makes more sense. Okay. Watch the rest of it's perfect. Just that one step is wrong.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
God, that was embarrassing. I couldn't even get the thing started.
That someone they met with was Hiro.
Oh, he used like a rag of like some kind of, you know, chloroform or something. You ever do that? Hey, does this smell like chloroform?
The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him...
And what they say when they say you're wrong is also useful. Oh, the little message at the end? Yeah, I stopped paying attention to that after like 3 times.
They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
I love the art style for all these.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro.
We saw through that like immediately though, as soon as we talked to Hiro.
When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Poor Taka.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Yeah, seriously. Well, because we don't get to see the blackened, of course. They always have that kind of gray silhouette. So, yeah, when you actually get to see him, it's real creepy.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect.
Also seemed very strange that Celeste was like attacked but survived. You know, she was just kind of beat up.
The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did.
Which, like, why would you actually do that? But, you know, it made it for an interesting story.
We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But...
Oh, nice. How are you making chicken, Monkey?
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office.
Oh, sweet. Any particular kind of seasoning or anything? Like, is it breaded or just like chicken breasts?
This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for.
And then the fake blood.
He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3.
He's going Super Saiyan there.
And turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered.
Oh, it is breaded chicken. Nice. I had chicken and waffles at a restaurant recently. Oh, it's so good. It's so not good for you, but it was so good.
He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found.
I like the gray face right there. Maybe I should hide myself for this so you guys can see everything.
Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi.
Once again, poor Taka. That's the only person I care about right now.
We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape.
How it says flip at the top there? That reminds me of like Spider-Man when he like uses his web. That's like a common sound effect they use, right? Whip.
When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room.
And Hifumi did so much work for this.
He left Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository.
Just to get betrayed in the end. That's so sad.
That explains how each of the bodies disappeared.
But he's also a murderer, so I don't feel bad for him.
But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them.
So for being too horny, did Hifumi get his final bonk, it looks like?
And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Wow, the only thing I was getting wrong was that first thing. Ugh. Well, that's pretty. Are we making out? What's going on there? Oh, we're trading places. That was a neat little
Celeste,
scene.
sorry, you lose.
Complete, but I think we still have to do that rhythm battle.
Lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words?
Don't care. Irrelevant. You lost now.
They hang heavy around my neck.
She's back to the fake accent.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no.
Hey, she's going back to normal.
Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Very Japanese name.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Wait, so if she knows she's lost, do we not have to do a battle? I think that was it. Wow. Oh, oof. Oh, good. We got the A. I saw a few C's in there. I was a little bit worried about that. Yeah. Now, no crap. I need a new voice. Well, Zakobo, I don't think I'm going to have to do any more voices for Celeste because I think she's gone. Nice. You get so many points for these.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
Whoa. She's just like, do it. And nothing I can do now. I mean, she was really accepting her fate.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote.
Watch everybody votes for somebody random.
And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Calm down, dude. Oh, you don't even have to vote. It just kind of happens. That's right. Once you got it correct. We technically did our vote earlier on in that process. Guilty! Yay! That makes me want to go to the casino. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was... Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yusahiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So, you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use... You know. Ooh, giggity goo. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice,
Indeed.
I used her. Did you name it? What? For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Oh, the laptop. Okay, yeah. That's what I was talking about. That's what we're talking about. The laptop. Yeah, he wants to talk to that. Yeah. Got this. Alter ego. Yeah, I knew that the whole time. I didn't forget about that. Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego? I don't know what you're talking about, Zakobo.
Say what?
What? What are you talking about? Oh, Monokuma doesn't know. Oops. That's not good.
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. Nice. Way to get around that. I'm totally out of the loop. As usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then, you're the one who stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how we'd disappear, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
So then,
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? John doesn't know either. As it turned out, I found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. Oh, I kind of forgot all about the blueprints and all that. Is that what he was taking pictures of? Or maybe she put the laptop in there and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course. I see, yeah. She'd probably use it to make fake evidence.
Damnation!
Yeah, so it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her.
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
Say what?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it was hard for me to even say. He abused me,
what?
and he took pictures. He said if I do not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. I mean, I knew he got a little crazy, but
Say what?
I'd never imagined he would go that far.
That's actually, I'm kind of like feeling for Hifumi right now a bit more. It was amazing how completely he bought into it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him.
most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Yeah, that's true, Zakobo. Yeah, right. It gives us a new idea or just, view of Hifumi for sure.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean...
Taka is going to try to kill you.
indeed.
And all he can, and all so he can keep her to himself.
That bastard.
Completely unforgivable!
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan.
Huh?
I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. Funny how she was like all like terrified and sad and hurt, and then boom, she's just happy and giggling, right?
And with that, it is complete.
Hmm?
What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place. See, at least she realizes it. She would probably be fine if she had somebody a little bit more, sensible, I guess.
But
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
Well, I mean, gonna call a spade a spade. That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
Oh, dude. Come on now. I mean, I know she's on death row, but still. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
God, he's already dead. Stop beating him.
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about playing dead?
What she was asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, and he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
So you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if one who pretended to be dead did not end up being dead himself.
What the heck?
How can a human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
don't be mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for the money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
Which, that makes sense. She always talked about wanting to stay there, and this is cool, this is great. She's a great liar. So yeah, that makes sense. And one weird thing about this case is how Hifumi knew Celeste's real name, given he said Yasuhiro. That's right. Did they never explain how he got that information?
But
But all along you've been saying how we just have to accept living here.
You little bitch.
Those voice clips. Oh, they're great.
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from the very day.
Okay, so there is a reason. Maybe we'll find out later. Thank you, Zakobo.
More than anyone else in here,
You little bitch.
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In this underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing,
As for me,
and it was all for that dream.
And what was that dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? Wow. Well, they look like a bunch of androids or zombies or something. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once obtained, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only girl. Vampires. I know that's kind of like a big thing now. You got like what, Twilight and all that. Weebatome. It's a good idea. I like this plan. You gotta respect the hustle. That what life is all about. That's like the most outlandish of everyone's dreams so far, for sure. Combined with my old winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. So yeah, it was the money. 100%. I got right to the edge of it, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream had been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
So you sound so passionate, but were you really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Well, I know, but that's just the first thing I can come up to the top of my head. There's Twilight. Whoops. I hit the wrong button. There's Twilight. There's, what is it? True Blood. There's Vampire Diaries. And there's probably like 10 other sexy vampire shows I don't even know about. Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? You don't realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. We do that to ourselves. 100% we can like lie to ourselves. Let's see, it was around 2008, 2012. Vampires got trendy. They not cool anymore? I know some of those shows are probably finished now, but yeah, maybe that's not the meta right now, huh? And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But, you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then. And then she did. Oh, and when she did, it looked like a poor effort to force it. Oh, she's having a hard time lying too. Can I nuke? Are you talking about in Dark Souls? 100% you can nuke. Oh, and I've heard that Vampire Survivors game is really good. I haven't tried it yet. It's like $3, right? I gotta check that out. Oh, Michael, these headphones, I love these headphones. These things are amazing. These are Sennheisers, and I'll have to look up the exact model number. I think it's like 599598 or something. But my favorite thing about them, and it's kind of hard to tell, but you see that like there's like a grill on the side? They're what you call an open back headphone, meaning I can hear myself very well and I can hear other things around me, which sucks if you want a quiet environment and you want to like block out the outside world. But I like to hear when things are going on in the house. And also I like to hear my own voice when I talk. When you have like, closed back noise canceling headphones, when you talk, it sounds really weird. You just hear like the reverberation of your chest. But when I'm streaming and I'm chatting the whole time, I like to kind of know what I sound like. So these are perfect. And another nice thing is they never get hot because they're open back. They breathe. It never gets like sweaty or itchy in my ears. Let's see. And the vampire shows are still around, but not as a drama romance. They're more popular in games and other things. That makes sense for us. That makes sense. They come and go. It's kind of like 3D. 3D comes, 3D goes. It'll be back sometime. Okay, so she faked her smile. She claimed she could fool her own feelings. But that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The Blackened disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
I'm guessing her death is going to be some kind of, I don't know, gambling-related death? I couldn't imagine. Maybe put on a big roulette wheel or something?
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
You know, before these headphones, I had HyperX Cloud Alphas, and those are really nice, but they were closed back. They were warm, so it'd get itchy after a long time. And I never really needed the built-in microphone. I actually prefer using, obviously, a higher quality microphone like this. So it kind of made sense for me to get just more comfortable audio-focused headphones instead.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
But if you do need a microphone and everything built in, gaming headsets are really nice to combine a bunch of stuff into one. Oh no. We would tell them there's always a new trend, right?
What?
Oh, room number 17. Is that her room number?
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
Who was room 17? I don't remember.
Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone.
I actually really like her real voice.
Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
I wish she used that voice the whole time. But she was lying. Okay, what is this death? Oh, I love this pixel art animation. Time for punishment. She looks totally at peace. Oh, it's her castle! Wow, that's a fancy setup to get killer. The burning of the Versailles witch. Oh, that's like the worst way to go. I heard drowning's pretty bad, but I think burning might be the worst way to die. I mean, I think you feel the most pain that way. Unless you get knocked out from the fumes, you know, asphyxiation, then maybe you won't feel so much. Nice monkey, more nuggets. So why are they burning her? What the heck? Oh, it's a fire truck. Or is it because of the Marie Antoinette quote? They went to all the process of like almost burning her just to like hit her with a truck? What? All right, that's cool.
Fatality.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Michael, perfect timing on that. Oh, actually, I think somebody got it like a few seconds before you, Michael. Whoever did that, that was great, but you guys had the right idea. And she loves burning, though, because of the historical connotation, and the real humiliation comes taking that away from her. Oh, I see. She wanted to be burned. You like that. And then when she gets hit by a truck, that's what makes it so sad for her. And this one is extra cool because she wanted to at least die happy living her dream, but even that was ripped away from her since the fire truck is what killed her. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about it that way. It's over. The third execution is over. I'm way past stream time. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. I don't know about that. We never were really very friendly. And for him to just come along and...
Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Geez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do you care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste? Oh, that's where the laptop's hidden, right?
Hey! Hey!
So, what's the deal with it? I was thinking it was a room key, but no, I bet the laptop's in the locker or something.
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me? Oh. Maybe she is working for him, but she can understand why. She's like under some mind control or something.
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How
Oh geez. Oh man.
exciting.
What do you mean? What did I do?
I have no idea. What's going on here?
I don't know anything about it.
What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Wow, way to exit. That was a good way of, getting him to F off. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of those dressing room lockers. Huh? What's that mean? Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I meant. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm going to go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are going to go together? What does that mean? Does that mean what I think it means? No, Hina, it does not mean what you think it means.
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah. For the love of God, give me a
So
save
then.
point. We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. As the locker swung open, we saw... There it is. Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe. Thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I just did what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Good job, Chihiro. I think I might be able to open up the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm gonna do my best, so please just wait a while longer. So, we can now officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
So Monkey, that computer, was actually one of the previous students that was here with us. She was like a master programmer. He got killed, sorry. And he also programmed that laptop with like an AI of him in there, essentially. So we can still like interact with him in a way, even though he's dead. Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. We're going to save that to the last chapter. I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared, and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation, when you do that...
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No. I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't that obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... What I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided that I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I can save it. I was like, man, I'm way past my bedtime. Seriously, I want to say the game has not given me a chance to save for like 3 hours. This is crazy. Maybe not 3 hours, but at least 2 hours it felt like we haven't saved. I know the trials can take a long time, but you know what I mean. I think this is our oldest one, so let's oversave that. Now, I'm curious, how would I remember what I'm doing when we're about to stream on next Tuesday? If I look at the transcript, okay, transcript is probably the best place to do it. I know, Michael, right? Not the best ending, but we're way over time. I cannot play anymore. We do have to wrap this up. Okay, I'll just try to remember to check the transcript to remember what we were doing exactly, this most recent step. Sometimes I get time to watch the previous stream first, but not always, just depends. Oh, what a crazy trial, though. I can see why that maybe wasn't your favorite one, for sure. It was entertaining, but some of the characters kind of made some huge flaws there, didn't they? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Am I? Where's exit? I think I'm in the wrong screen. There we go. It's like, where's my exit? There we go.